We recreated the Egghead Island from One Piece in Blender. Here's how we built everything step by step. So I started with a UV spear and scaled it up to form the giant egg. Then I sliced it in half and shaped each piece to look cracked just like in the anime. After that, I added a solidify modifier to give the shell realistic thickness that completed base structure. Next, I work on the floating clouds beneath the island. I reshaped a sphere into a soft cloud silhouette and converted it into volume object to get that floppy glowing look. Then I duplicated it and arranged that clouds around the bottom of the egg. After that, I modeled one block for the structure surrounding Funk Records. I used an array modifier to multiply it and applied a curve deform setup so that the blocks followed a circular path perfectly. That completed the ring of blocks around the central tower. So inside the egg, I created the Vegapunk lab using spheres, cubes, and cylinders. I reshaped and combined them to match the futuristic style, then beveled and smoothed the forms to clean up the structure. Next, I built the small buildings around the island using simple geometric shapes. I also added trees, assets to bring more life and greenery to the environment.
First, let's talk about the geometry and how I made the island look so tactile. To give the main island structure its appearance, I heavily relied on texture mapping. I unwrapped the large, jagged base rock mesh and then applied a high resolution stone texture. But just using color isn't enough. That's where bump mapping comes in. By using a corresponding normal map or a displacement map from the same texture, I essentially trick the light into believing the surface has deep crevices and sharp edges. It adds that beautiful, realistic dimensionality without needing millions of polygons. You can see the result in the deep shadows and highlights across the rock face. For the water, it's crucial for setting the mood. The core technique here is the reflection. I use a procedural water shader, giving it just enough reflectivity to mirror the sky, and crucially, the silhouette of the surrounding ships and the island itself. This subtle reflection helps ground the objects in the scene. We also wanted a moody and slightly stylish look, so I adjusted the contrast in the ocean color by dialing down the saturation of the deeper parts using a slightly more intense, though still muted, blue on the surface. I created a visual distinction that separates the near field from the far distance. Lighting is the secret sauce here. Although I'm primarily using strong sunlight, you can see the sharp highlight direction on the palm leaves. I've actually incorporated a system of motivated lighting. My sunlight is the primary source, giving us our main shadow mapping.
Once the structures were in place, I moved on to texturing. I applied materials to the buildings, adjusted roughness and metallic values to match Egghead's clean sci-fi aesthetics, and added simple color to the trees, ships, and surrounding assets to make everything visually cohesive. After texturing, I used geometric nodes and manual placement to distribute the trees across the island. I filled in the landscape while keeping everything balanced and uncluttered. Lastly, I added a few preset ships approaching the island. With that, the whole scene was ready for final adjustments. So the rest of the adjustments like the lighting, background, and final tweaks were done off recording. So just refer to the attached file, and here it is, the final render.